What is the reason why fasting is prescribed?
Firstly, we must note that one of the names of Allah is Al-Hakim, the most wise. The word Hakim is derived from the same root as Hukm, which means ruling, and Hikmah, which means wisdom. Allah alone is the one who issues rulings, and His rulings are the most wise and perfect. Secondly, Allah does not prescribe any ruling, but there is great wisdom behind it, which we may understand, or our minds may not be guided to understand it. We may know some of it, but a great deal is hidden from us. And the third point, Allah has mentioned the reason and wisdom behind His enjoining of fasting upon us, as He says in the glorious Quran in Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 183. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam. O you who believe, observing Psalm, the fasting, is prescribed for you. كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم, as it was prescribed for those before you. لعلكم تتقون, so that you may become al-muttaqun, the pious one. Fasting is a means of attaining taqwa, piety, God consciousness. And taqwa means doing that which Allah has joined and avoiding that which He has forbidden. Fasting is one of the greatest means of helping a person to fulfill the commands of Islam. The scholars, may Allah have mercy on them, have mentioned some of the reasons why fasting is prescribed, all of which are characteristics of taqwa. Let's discuss some of them. Among the reasons behind fasting are: the first one, fasting is a means that makes us appreciate and give thanks for pleasures. For fasting means giving up eating, drinking, and intercourse, which are among the greatest pleasures. By giving them for a short time, we begin to appreciate their value, because the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are not recognized. But when you abstain from them, you begin to recognize them. So this motivates you to be grateful for them. Second reason, fasting is a means of giving up haram things, because if a person can give up halal things in order to please Allah and for fear of His painful torment, then he will be more likely to refrain from haram things. So fasting is a means of avoiding the things that Allah has forbidden. Third, fasting enables us to control our desires, because when a person is full, his desires grow. But if he is hungry, then his desires become weak. Hence the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, O young men, whoever among you can afford to get married, let him do so. For it is more effective in lowering the gaze and protecting one's chastity. Whoever cannot do that, let him fast, for it will be a shield for him. Fourth, fasting makes us feel compassion and empathy towards the poor, because when the fasting person tastes the pain of hunger for a while, he remembers those who are in this situation all the time. So he will hasten to do acts of kindness to them and show compassion towards them. So fasting is a means of feeling empathy with the poor. Fifth one, fasting humiliates and weakens the shaitan, the Satan. It weakens the effects of his whispers, his waswasas on a person, and reduces his sins. That is because the shaitan flows through the sons of Adam like blood, as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said. But fasting narrows the passages through which the shaitan flows, so his influence grows less. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah said in Majmu' al-Fatawa, undoubtedly blood is created from food and drink. So when a person eats and drinks, the passages through which the devils flow, which is the blood, become wide. But if a person fasts, the passages through which the devils flow become narrow. So hearts are motivated to do good deeds and to give up evil deeds. Sixth, the fasting person is training himself to remember that Allah is always watching. So he gives up the thing that he desires, even though he is able to take them, because he knows that Allah is always seeing him. The seventh one, the fasting person develops an attitude, and he doesn't long for this world and its desires, but he seeks that which is with Allah, the Akhirah. Eighth one, fasting makes the Muslim get used to doing a great deal of acts of worship, because the fasting person usually does more acts of worship and he gets used to that. So these are some of the reasons why fasting is enjoined. I ask Allah to help us to achieve them and to worship Him as He has commanded us, and His last and final messenger Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has commanded us and taught us through his sunnah. This I conclude. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.